In the last video, we introduced the concept of putouts, and we gave the three main ways that a defensive player can be credited with a putout. So in this video, I want to look at the automatic ways that the catcher can actually receive credit for a putout. So these are automatic putouts by the catcher. And there are actually 8 ways that the rule book has deemed should be automatically credited to the catcher. The first way is a strikeout. And so you might think, so basically the reason we need to credit things like these 8 ways is because sometimes there are lots of ways that an out can occur when that isn't one of these 3 ways, where a batter doesn't get tagged out, or his ball he hits isn't caught in the air. So so who would you give a strikeout to? So you might think it would be the pitcher, and certainly we keep track of the number of batters a pitcher has struck out, but as far as the putout goes, we give that automatically to the catcher. The second way then that a pitcher could, or a catcher could receive automatic credit for a putout is if there is a batter is called out for an illegally batted ball. And so an illegally batted ball. And so what would this be? This would be something like if a batter comes up and he uses an illegal bat, and there are certain rules that a bat can only be so big, and so or if there's cork in the middle might be an example that has happened within the past few years, that'd be an illegal substance a bat could be made out of. Or this could also be if the batter has one of his feet are outside the batter's box, then in that case we have an illegally batted ball, and we give the credit to the catcher. The third way kind of goes along with the strikeout, and that is if he bunts the third strike foul. So bunts the foul, or bunts he bunts his third strike foul. And so this would be, as you know, basically this would be a strikeout. But they separate out just to reinforce, just to make sure we know. Fourth way would be for interfering with the catcher. So with the catcher. And this is if the batter is called out for interfering with the catcher. And so this could be something like if there's a runner on second base and he tries to steal third base, and the batter in that situation, he's entitled to the batter's box. So as long as he's in the batter's box, he's okay. But if he makes some kind of a movement where the umpire judges he's purposely trying to stand in the way of the catcher to block the catcher's throw, to attempt to get the stealing runner out, then he could be called out for interfering with the catcher. The next way would be that if there is a batter who bats in the wrong order, or fails to bat in the proper order. And so this is a situation that tends to confuse a lot of people, but we have a video on that one, so you can go watch what would happen in that situation. But basically, if there's a batter who comes up and incorrectly, and the defensive team appeals, then the catcher generally will get the credit for the automatic putout. The next way is that if a batter is touched by his own batted ball, batter is touched by his own batted ball. And so A lot of times this might happen on a bunt, or even just if a batter hits a short hit. So for example, if we have our batter in here and he bunts the ball down the line here, and he takes off running toward first base, and somehow the ball hits him, then he would be called out, and the catcher then, he would receive credit for the automatic put out. The final two ways are kind of related, and they are if the runner if the batter refuses to touch base after a walk or hit by a pitch or catcher's interference. And so this is refusing to touch first base after a walk, or he's hit by the pitch or catcher's interference. And so let's do the last way here, and then we can explain why that it seems like a no-brainer. Obviously, why wouldn't he go down to first base? And so the last one, this will make more sense after we get through this one, is if he refuses to advance from third base to home plate. So he refuses to advance from third base to home plate. And so again, you might be asking, why would any batter refuse to go to first base, or any runner refuse to come home and score a run? And so this would be a pretty rare situation, but it would be whenever tend to occur on a play, say at the end of a game where there's a walk-off hit, or if say the bases are loaded and it's a tie game in the bottom of the last inning, and a player walks. Obviously, in that situation, generally each batter or each runner would advance up a base. But say for whatever reason, if they win the game on the play, and they get so caught up in the excitement of the situation that either the runner on third base doesn't come home, or the batter doesn't walk down and actually physically touch first base, excuse me, then in that situation, the defensive team, can point out to the umpire, and so that the players never touch the base they should. And so then, if that does happen and the umpire ends up calling them out, then the catcher will be the one getting credit for the put out.